All right, this story came from J Dog, and I want to thank you for sending this story. I did see this out here, but I kind of briefly looked at it. I didn't really get into the story, but I will now. Um, this story is about a black college professor. Her name is, I believe her name is Lisa Darden, and she went on Fox News to defend an event that Black Lives Matter that was black only for Memorial Day. And Tucker Carlson is trying to act like he is so offended that white people are not included. But see, what he already knows, he's just being phony and disingenuous. When have white people included us in everything in this country? They came up with all kinds of black codes and slave codes and Jim Crow and separate but equal and discrimination all through the centuries, putting up white only signs and restaurants and places of employment. And you still do it in your court system. You try to make the juries all white to ensure in a conviction against black people. You make your police forces predominantly white, despite the fact that there are lots of people of different colors in this country. You still keep that primarily white. You keep your teachers primarily white in the black neighborhoods, despite the fact most of the residents there are black. And look at these jobs. Even when you walk in a corporation, you'll have a sea of white people there, and the blacks you can count on one hand. They don't do nothing but exclude. I've seen them exclude black people from meetings at work. I've seen them exclude black people whenever they want to go out in their little white group for lunch. I've seen them do this. I've seen them have all white parties and not invite black people. But they want to act all brand new when black people do this. It's a laugh and a joke. And this is why I don't take you seriously. Okay? And you trolls can come on here talking about racist all you want. You created an entire nation on racism. And then Tucker keeps repeating, oh, well, you got to judge people on their skin color. You have been judging people on their skin color for 5 centuries in the US. Your cops go out here every day and judge people on skin color. These jobs do it every day. This is why unemployment is always the highest among black people. You suspend black children in school for what white kids get away with. You'll punish a black man under the law, but when a white man do it and go through the same court system, he gets to go home. You have been playing the skin game and racism since we've been here. You have been practicing exclusion since we've been here, and you still do it. But when black people say, I want to have one day to ourselves to celebrate and just kick back around each other, you got an issue with it? See, ladies and gentlemen, white people want to exclude us when it's convenient, but they feel you do not have the right to exclude them under any circumstances. This is why they come out and troll you, because they feel they need to be included in every aspect of a black person's life, which is false. And part of it is our fault. We have not spent enough time telling these devils to mind their own business, and we are wrong for not doing that. We should have been telling them from the jump to mind their business. But it has gone on for so long in this country with them always trying to be in Black business that they think it's just normal. It's just like when people speak in other languages, they want you to speak English because they can't spy on you if you're speaking another language. They feel that they have the right to police everybody, especially us. We are the number one people they want to police. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do they not have separate proms in the South? They have a prom for the white students and a prom for the Black students, even to this day. Don't they have the Fraternal Order of Police, which is white, and then they have the Black Fraternal Order of Police? Do they not have this? Don't they have their racist organizations where no Black person, well, I wouldn't want to be part of their right white supremacists, but they still have these groups where it's exclusively all white. There's many organizations all across this country that are all white, including their feminist group. They don't really care about what happened to Black women. This is why they don't speak out until something happens to a white woman. That's the only time they become vocal. They ain't nothing but an extension of the KKK anyway. But my point is, they have been excluding us for centuries. Even to this day, if they want to have a college party and exclude Black people, they do. Don't they have white fraternities and Black fraternities and white sororities and Black sororities? Of course they do. That didn't start with us. That started with them. But they act all outraged now when they're excluded. Now you can see what our ancestors put up with. And you saw in the videos that I've done previously, anytime they are excluded or see that you are getting ahead without them, they are appalled and want to lash out at Black people. You can see that same reaction in them even to this day. Except now there's really no Black towns for them to torch that are prospering like we had in the past. Believe me, if we had those towns up today, if we didn't arm ourselves and defend those towns, they would still be doing that to this day. And see, they don't want to lose hold of the Black race here in the country. Now, some of you might have saw my video on the Gullah Wars. So let me just make this clear. It was not the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves. It was the Gullah Wars. We kicked their asses down there in the South. Just like on the islands, they had their uprisings and won. We had an uprising that went on for nearly 110 years down in the South. We killed so many, our ancestors killed so many of the white people down in the South, they had to end slavery. These devils know the truth. This is why they fight hard to keep us separated, because when we came together in the South during the Gullah War, we beat them and won our freedom. That Emancipation Proclamation is a smoke screen to what really happened. We kicked their asses and they never got over it. This is why they kill us every chance they can get. They never got over the fact that we defeated them in a race war in the South. So they don't want you to exclude them from anything that's Black. We have every right to exclude the people that have been oppressing us and killing us and robbing from us and mistreating us for centuries. We are justified if we want to separate from them. See, they should not be able to play their white privilege card to us. We still have cases in the Black neighborhood, and they'll still bring in an all-white jury. They're not whining then, are they? They bring in all-white juries to ensure they will get a conviction for somebody that they got held that's Black. All white juries are going to go along with the status quo of discriminating against us. And they don't give a damn. We do not owe them an explanation for anything that we want to keep all Black. We have every right to do it and justified in doing it. They have a lot of nerve trying to whine about basing something on skin color when they have built an entire society on it and still running that scam on everybody. In fact, this white devil has made the entire planet racist. Sitting there with his red, inflamed, sunburned looking face. And the fact that she was fired should go to show you we still, as Black people, can't say what we want. Now they can say what they want. You see the discriminatory practices when it comes down to free speech. They can say what they want. But if we get on TV and we want to be all Black, they got a problem with this. And every Black group they have a problem with. How many times do they come and talk about Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton? Hell, we don't even talk about those two people that much. They talk about them a hell of a lot more than we do. NAACP, Black Panther Party. We don't even talk about that shit. They talk about it more than we do. In fact, every time those subjects come up, it comes from white people. It don't come from us. And look at all the public ranting they've been doing. I want a white doctor for my son. I want a white doctor. Wasn't she worried about skin color? Believe me, there's many more like her. Too many. But no, white people, you don't get to come to Black people preaching about racism. You don't get to do that. And when they do it, don't give them the audience, Black people. Don't give them the luxury of having you as the captive audience on their fakery. This is why I don't trust you. How the hell do you run a whole country on racism? And then when black people want to have an event of their own, you're talking about exclusion when you have practiced exclusion all throughout history. You got a hell of a lot of nerve. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. 1 second here.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Good to see you again. You're doing well.
Thank you. I was confused by this because I thought the whole point of Black Lives Matter, one of the points would be to speak out against singling people out on the basis of their race and punishing them for that. Because you can't control what your race is, and yet they seem to be doing that. Explain that to me.
What I say to that is boo, hoo, hoo. You white people are angry because you couldn't use your white privilege card to get invited
Lisa.
to the Black Lives Matters All Black Memorial Day celebration. Wow. Let me contextualize that for you. Memorial Day was created by...
First of all, I don't want you to contextualize. Right?
I need to contextualize it because Memorial Day was created by black former slaves in 1865 to honor those individuals who were Union soldiers who fought and died for our freedom. So Black Lives Matter, in that same vein, decided to get together with black folks.
I'm not going to let you filibuster past my question.
To make sure that black folks are celebrated for being murdered by racist terrorists.
I don't want to shut this down, but I will. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I just have a really simple question for you. If you don't like people excluding others on the basis of their race, and as a society, we agree that that's bad. I agree it's bad. You agree it's bad. Then why are you doing it? And why are you defending it now?
White folks crack me up all of a sudden when we want to have one day for black folks to focus on ourselves. But you've been having white days forever. You don't say the words anymore because you know it's politically incorrect. But you've had an all-white Oscars, all these movies with all-white actors, movie after movie after movie, all-white TV shows with white casts over and over and over again. The Bachelorette, it took 11 seasons of a black bachelorette. Are you serious?
It's hard to believe. I hope you're not speaking for anyone else. I hope there aren't a lot of people in this
country
who agree with you.
My name is Lisa Durden. I'm speaking for Lisa Durden.
I just hope there aren't people watching who agree with you because what you're saying is so hostile and separatist and crazy. It's such a basic violation of what I thought we all agreed on, which is you don't attack people for things they can't control, namely their race.
It's not an attack. I'm stating the facts. People get weddings where they exclude children. It doesn't mean they don't like children. They don't know if your kids are going to be monsters and those kids are going to be well behaved. So in that same vein, Black Lives Matter decided to have one day where they didn't want white folks who were going to be off the rails. They don't know if you're going to be the ones behaved and for them or the ones who are there against them. So let me
just ask you a quick question.
Go right ahead.
Do you think it's racist to exclude people on the basis of their skin color?
I think it's racist when you've been excluding people for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Stop with your silly lectures. I'm asking you a very simple question.
We're forced to come together collectively to celebrate ourselves because you guys won't. You are the larger society. Let's be real here.
You guys, I'm talking about what I thought we all believed. Let me ask you this. Do you think it would be fair if white people did come to a Black Lives Matter celebration?
They do all the time. When you look at Black Lives Matter,
do you use the same water fountain that they do?
And you see Black Lives Matter coming together collectively for different issues. You see people of all races. So we do accept them. This particular day, they said, stay your asses out. We want to celebrate today. We don't want anybody going against us today.
And you can't celebrate if someone who doesn't look like you is around?
Yes, you can, but you can also say, I don't want to do it. It's a personal choice.
You're sick, and what you're saying is disgusting. And if you were a Nazi, I would say the same thing to you.
Luckily, I'm not a Nazi.
Because what you're saying is indistinguishable from what they are saying, which is, I don't care your opinions, I don't care your views, your life experience, your intentions. All I care about is the way you look, something that you can't control. And on that basis alone, I'm judging you, and I'm hostile to you. That's the case you're making, and it's divisive and wrong. And it's amazing that you even have to say that out loud, but I can't believe you're making the case you're making.
Unfortunately, when you have a racist society like America, you force individuals to come together collectively to make sure that they have a voice. And that's unfortunate that the racism has caused people to come together collectively.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a single white person in America you would have let into this celebration?
I'm not Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a movement.
You're just an apologist.
However, I can respect the decision. It doesn't mean it's a decision I would have made. Maybe I would have. Just like a wedding where I might say your kids can't bring their badasses in my wedding.
Children are not an ethnic group. Every
it doesn't
person
matter.
In
You're
the
discriminating
world,
against people with kids. You're saying don't bring your badass kids.
Would it be okay? Yeah, but you see,
and that's okay.
Okay, but there are white adults and Asian adults and Hispanic adults. And presumably they're basically the same as black adults, but you don't agree with that.
We have gay pride parades. We have Puerto Rican Day parades. We have all kinds of parades and days that honor individuals. We have Mother's Day. We have Father's Day.
Fathers are allowed to participate
just take your mama out.
I'm not sure you're even capable of having this conversation, so I'm going to end it now. Let me ask you one last. Let me ask you one last question, and be totally honest with this. Do the people in your world, your parents, your siblings, your kids, your friends, do they agree with you on this?
My family respects my right to free speech.
No, don't give me that dumb answer.
I mean,
do they agree with what you just said?
They do agree with one thing. I have the right to free speech.
Whatever. No one's contesting it.
I'll see you next time on your show. You'll be inviting me on again.
Do you know people who agree with you?
Tucker, I'm going to see you again in less than a month. Ratings are going up.
I don't even know what you're talking about, and I'm not sure I look forward to it. But thanks for coming on tonight, Lisa.
Okay. You know why he asked that question at the very end? He is trying to figure out the minds of Black people. See, they're concerned if we all feel that way. That's why he was asking, no, just answer the question, because they are trying to figure out where your mind is. Just like when they come up to you and they're trying to introduce themselves, they're trying to figure out, are you the Martin Luther King kind of Black person? Or are you the more militant Malcolm X kind of person? And see, that's what he really wanted to know. He wants to know this so he can let other white people know, oh, well, a lot of Black people want to exclude us. And that's what he was trying to get out of her. And all she did was harp on her freedom of speech, which technically she didn't have because she got fired from her job after this interview. So as a Black person, you cannot speak as freely as you want on Caucasoid media. But yes, I think if anything, Black people need to be doing more events where they are not included. Okay, I'm sorry for some of the background noise. There's a lot going on outside, so please pardon me for that. I can't control what people go out and do. But I just want you to hear what he had to say. So this article just pretty much goes over their exchange that you just heard. She used to work at Essex County College, which is a college in New Jersey, in Newark. I know where it is. And she was a professor over there, and they let her go after this particular interview that she did on Fox News. Now, here's a statement from the college president. I'll go ahead and play that.
Hello, my name is Dr. Anthony Monroe, and I am the newly appointed president of Essex County College. In my brief time here, I have been greatly impressed by both the school's express and demonstrated commitment to being an open access institution committed to providing high quality educational programs and lifelong learning abilities and activities to a diverse population of students. Proof of this commitment is the fact that we serve students who hail from 59 countries. As many of you may know, Essex County College opened its doors in 1968 in the wake of tremendous upheaval caused in part by the lack of opportunities in education, training, and jobs. From that upheaval, Essex County College has provided opportunity and hope to countless dreamers and has birthed many change agents in our society, including educators, community activists, politicians, judges, and Olympians. Our diversity has enriched and enhanced our learning community as it pushes us to collectively and continually wrestle through the very real challenges associated with hearing, honoring, and respecting an array of needs, customs, beliefs, orientations, backgrounds, and norms. Recently, much attention has been given to the impact of an exchange on a television show between an Essex County College adjunct and the host. The college was immediately inundated with feedback from students, faculty, and prospective student and their families, expressing frustration, concern, and even fear that the views expressed by a college employee with influence over students would negatively impact their experience on the campus. I want to address how the college is responding. As the new president, I think it is important for me to make clear and reaffirm the college's commitment as a public institution to maintaining a welcoming environment to all students from a variety of races, lifestyles, abilities, socioeconomic backgrounds, faiths, and cultures. I fully believe that institutions of higher learning must provide a safe space for students to explore, discuss, and debate not only academic philosophies, but the harder issues related to living harmoniously and growing together in our communities and as a country. As Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. The character of this institution mandates that we embrace diversity, inclusion, and unity. Racism cannot be fought with more racism. To continue to effectively fulfill our mission and to continue our legacy of providing opportunity and success, there are principles which we eagerly embrace. First, Essex County College deeply values free speech and academic freedom. The open exchange of ideas and perspectives gives strength to our institution and provides depth to the education provided to our students.
Okay, I'm going to stop him there. If he was really into free speech, he would not have let her go. He let her go because they got inundated with phone calls from Fox News asshole caucasoids. That's what happened. And they flooded the school, these racists, and she lost her job. He's being politically correct by trying to give this statement of inclusion when we know they have built a society on excluding us and still do it to this day. I don't believe she said anything on the interview where she should have lost her job. He is just giving in to the pressure and talking all this inclusion stuff. But what have inclusion really done for Black people? What have it done for us? Integration is the worst thing that ever happened to us. He's running a college, so he has to be a politically correct Negro. But how do you talk about people's freedom of speech and then you turn around and let this professor go because of the speech that she made? It was not racist. What she was saying was the truth. If Black people want to have an event that's all Black, we have the right to do that. White people should not have the expectation to always be included in everything that Black people want to do. We don't have that expectation when it comes down to them, do we? Hell no. So no, this just go to show you Black people do not have freedom of speech. You have to always act like white people should be involved in everything and we should embrace them openly. But when they want to exclude us, then we just need to accept that. That's the bullshit they're trying to tell us. And I'm fine with being excluded. In fact, I'll help you exclude Black people because I don't really feel it benefits us to be around you. And that's what we have seen all throughout history. Okay, so Ladies and gentlemen, just tell me what you think. I will leave the link to this article in the description box. I'm not going to read through it because pretty much what it says is what is being spoken in the two videos. So the link will be in the description box, but please leave your comments and subscribe. And if you can donate to this channel, please do. Peace, family.